All right. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And I'm going to jump straight into this video. Lord's willing, it's edifying. Give you a heads up, it's probably going to be a little bit long because I got a couple scriptures that I got lined up. I got a video that I wanted to show you also, as usual, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure what I'm going to title it yet. But with that being said, let's jump straight into this because I already know it's going to be long. All right, Lord's willing, it's edifying. Open up with Psalm 64 and 8 because these are the times we're in, man. You know what I'm saying? That man of sin is being revealed, you know, chiefly by the men of great millstone, starting from the head apostle, Elder Tahar, on down, you know. We're the ones that are primarily revealing this man. You know, the falling away already happened, like we always say, which was 70 A.D. You know, when the Romans sacked Jerusalem, and we discontinued from our heritage. You know, we were scattered. We fled into like the west coast of Africa. We fled all over. You know, but that's when the falling away happened. But you know, the man of sin is being revealed now. Okay, starting with, like I said, the head apostles of Great Millstone, and also these truthers. You know. But anyway, with that being said, Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue, Slakia, tongue, Slakia. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right? Because that's the times we're in. All right? And that's the perfect scripture to start out with because of what I wanted to, the video, all right? I really, Slakia, let me go back. Let me backtrack. I was really meditating out for the longest, you know, not for the longest, but for a minute now, I've been meditating on Second Ezra. I've just been meditating on Jacob's trouble, which you should. I don't understand why you wouldn't be meditating on Jacob's trouble, because that's the next major, besides the chip and the famine and whatnot. We know that's coming, but Jacob's trouble is like the scripture says, going to be a time like never before. And a lot of movies, a lot of things are showing you that, man. They're doing a lot of so-called apocalyptic movies, and you know, and that's the vibration that's out in the world right now, because that's what we're heading into. Okay, martial law, sedition amongst men. You know, you know what I'm saying. But Second Ezra 16, I've been meditating on this a lot, man. You know, been meditating on it a lot, and history, looking at history, because we know the scriptures say no new thing is under the sun. So I love, that's one of I study history, man. I love documentaries. I love to see, because Esau Edom, like we always say, the red Hebrew Edomite is the basis of men. He's not that smart, man. He copies everything, right? So I've been meditating on the Great Depression. I've done it before, but you know, of lately, Yahweh Shai put the spirit on me to really been you know, getting into the history of the race wars of Watts riots, different things like that. All right, and I stumbled across this video, and you know, I said I'd do a video on it. All right, and it led me all over the place. So like that's why I said I'm not sure what I'm gonna title it yet. All right, but anyway, with that being said, all over the place, just to bring the video out. All right, but that's why I was looking into the Great Depression. You know, and I'm not, like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna title it yet. You know. But anyway, you know, so like, let me get you what really had me in Second Ezra, what I was meditating on. But I'm gonna I'm gonna start at the top though. But this is really what I've been meditating on, man. You know, Second Ezra 16 and 27. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. That's talking about that Jacob's trouble, man. When the martial law, when shit pops off, man. When the famine of the word hits, which we're gonna get into it, Lord's willing. You know, but that's really what my mind been on, man. You know, you coming into some serious time, like I always say, man, a time like never before. You know, Ezra said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in them days? You know. But anyway, let's get into the video. Salakia, I was all over the place. I believe this dude's name is Stephen Mullinex. It's an old video, May 23rd, 2016. What caused the Great Depression? Lawrence W. Reed and Stephen, I believe, Mullinex. And I'm going to play a little bit. I ain't going to play the whole thing. I really want to get into the scriptures. but he had my mind all over the place, you know. I just threw some scriptures together. Lord's willing and edifying.
Hi everybody, Stefan Molyneux from Freedom Main Radio. I hope you're doing well. We're here with our good friend Dr. Lawrence Reed. He is the president of the Foundation for Economic Education and the author of so many books, including Great Myths of the Great Depression, which I've actually read the article that the book was based on, which you will put a link to below. And you can find Dr. Reed's information and his organization's activities at www.fee.org. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for taking the time today.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Stefan. I hope you're well.
I'm well, thank you. Now, why are we talking about the Great Depression? It is one of the scare stories, like ogres and monsters and things.
Salaki, I told you why I'm talking about it, because of 2nd Ezra 16, because of the Jacob's trouble, the times that we're headed into, all right? The Most High requires the things of the past, all right? Salaki, I know me. I'm always pausing the video. I'm gonna try to contain myself. Salaki, brother.
www.fee.org. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for taking the time today.
Hey, it's my pleasure, Stefan. I hope you're well.
I'm well, thank you. Now, why are we talking about the Great Depression? It is one of the scare stories, like ogres and monsters and things under the bed, that is regularly told to people in order to scare them back into the protective arms of government. And the myth goes something like, well,
I gotta pause it again. That made me think. That's what they say we are, fearmongers. We're not fearmongers, man. The vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak, man. We're at the end. The visions are speaking. Just because you want to hear smooth things does not mean that we're fear-mongering, man. Okay? We're telling you the unadulterated truth, man. Starting from the head apostle, Elder Tahar, on down. Okay? But you guys don't want to hear it. You guys want to hear prosperity doctrines, you know? You don't want to hear that America is Babylon the Great and it's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. You see? You don't want to hear that we're going into Jacob's trouble. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear smooth things. Because you love it here, man. You love it in Babylon. You know, you love the cucumbers and the leeks, you know. Man, that's why 2/3 of Israel got to go, man. 2/3 is destined for destruction. Because you just ain't going to get right. Just like your daddy, Esau Edom, ain't going to get right. You know. And that, let me chill.
Had this giant free market, and there was this hysterical bubble throughout the 1920s. There was this disastrous crash, and
I gotta pause it there too. Man, I'm gonna do me, man. Y'all don't want to watch my video, turn this shit off, man. He said a hysterical bubble, you know? That right there made me think of the Babylon being a golden cup, man. I'm gonna run it back, right? Where's Jeremiah at? Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon, which is, like I said, is America the Great, man, that whore, that I forget how it goes. But it's Babylon the Great, the whore. I'm not gonna look for it. America is Babylon the Great, the whore, okay? And the whore rides upon the beast, which is NATO and the EU. And you see, we're in the times where Elder Apostle Tahar always says we're the 10 toes, man. You see, the toe, they weak, man. That's what you're looking at with Brexit, all right? The nations are going to turn on Babylon. They're going to hate the beast is going to hate the whore. Okay, and they're going to shoot missiles over here. We in them times. But prior to that, there's going to be the mandatory implementation of the RFID microchip. I'm going to keep saying it over and over because I know y'all don't want to hear it. There's going to be a famine of the word. They're going to lock the internet down, and that's what you see happening. They're ramping up the policies. Okay, they're ramping up all the restrictions and the copyright shit and whatnot in the third. And the brother brought out. Cause you know Jake mind is slow, man. They forgetful. Even my memory's bad, you know. But they forget about the what was that called? Net neutrality. You know, that law a lot of these laws already on the books, man. Esau just patient. He's very calculated, and he's probably scared, man. Esau Edom, you damn, because we know you watch our videos. Y'all probably scared. You see the prophets. You see the prophecies, you know we right, and you scared to move. But guess what? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to force your hand. Okay? Anyway, let me stay on top. I'm all over the place. Salakia, brothers. I'm all over the place. I got the house to myself. I'm chilling, man. I want to take my time and do this video. You don't want to watch it? Turn it the fuck off. Okay? You don't like I'm cursing? Turn it the fuck off. All right? Anyway, Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, in Yahweh's hand. That's all caps. All right? Who you guys ignorantly call God. His name is Yahweh. He is. I am. Okay? Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right? And I've broken that down numerous times, all right? I'm not going to break it down now, but that's what that bubble is, okay? That bubble is that it's a golden cup. It's been protected. Okay, matter of fact, Salaki, let's gleam a little. Let's go into the Hebrew. Let's go into the Hebrew. All right, let's gleam a little bit more. It says it has been a golden cup. That's what I want. Salakia, brothers. Hath been golden. What's that? Zahab. H20. Salakia. H2091.
Strong's H2091. Zahav.
Gold, golden, a precious metal. Matter of fact, that's, yeah, Salakia. Yeah, good thing I brought that up, right? Because that makes me think about just weights, right? That's how you know this place is talking about America, all right? That's how you know it's talking about Esau, Edom, you know? So let me let the video play. Salakia. I'm jumping the gun. Salakia. Let me let the video play out. Salakia, brothers.
Under the bed that is regularly told to people in order to scare them back into the protective arms of government. And the myth goes something like, well, we had this giant free market, and there was this hysterical bubble throughout the 1920s. There was this disastrous crash, and the do-nothing laissez-faire, let the market take care of itself. President Hoover sat on his hands, and things got worse and worse and worse. And then people finally panicked and ran to FDR, who manfully stood to the podium and thundered against the evils of unregulated capitalism and passed a whole bunch of government regulations that made everything better. But sadly, it was too late, and the world slid into World War II. And that's what happens when you let the free market try and take care of society. You end up with a 13-year depression culminating in a war that kills 70 million people. Now, are you still for the free market, or do you like the government now? I'm just characterizing it somewhat roughly, but it seems to go something like that.
He said a mouthful. He said a mouthful just now. He said a lot just now. Okay, so let me run that back. Open your ears. Listen carefully.
Taking the time today.
Hey, it's my pleasure,
Listen
Stefan. I hope
carefully.
you're well.
I'm well, thank you. Now, why are we talking about the Great Depression? It is one of the scare stories, like ogres and monsters and things under the bed, that is regularly told to people in order to scare them back into the protective arms of government. And the myth goes something like, well, we had this giant free market, and there was this hysterical bubble throughout the 1920s. There was this disastrous crash, and the do-nothing laissez-faire, let the market take care of itself. President Hoover sat on his hands, and things got worse and worse and worse. And then people finally panicked and ran to FDR, who manfully stood to the podium and thundered against the evils of unregulated capitalism and passed a whole bunch of government regulations that made everything better. But sadly, it was too late, and the world slid into World War II. And that's what happens when you let the free market try and take care of society. You end up with a 13-year depression culminating in a war that kills 70 million people. Now, are you still for the free market, or do you like...
And you see, the Great Depression said 13 years. You see, that things take time, man. Things take time. But anyway, I'm going to come back to the video. Because like I said, people think shit is going to just happen. Now, we know the destruction of Babylon, according to the scriptures, it said it's going to be in 1 hour, you know, and we know it's going to be 1 hour because of the technology. But prior to that 1 hour, that destruction where the missiles are shot off, because I believe it takes like 30, it's like 1 hour, man. I did a video on it before. I might go back and do another video on the missiles, on how, you know, on the warheads and all that. I did that. Go on my page, go back and search. I did videos on this already. But like I said, it's going to take 1 hour, but prior to that, it's going to be. We're in the midst of the World War III, man. We're already in World War III. Matter of fact, from the time World War II ended, we had a little bit of peace, and then World War III was already in the midst. That's what the Cold War was. That's what it said that the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai was going to put the hooks back, you know. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction shall come upon them as a woman in travail. You see? Salak. Let me see if I have it. Thought I lost my thought. I thought I had it. Salakia. Anyway, let me stay on top. Let's go back to what I was gonna go. Babylon has been a golden cup, man. Where's Jeremiah? What the hell happened to Jeremiah 51? I closed it out on accident. That had to be what happened. Salakia, brothers. I know I wasn't tripping, man. Salah. Okay, let me read this over. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon, which is like I said, is America. Babylon have been a golden cup. That's what he was saying with that bubble, right? And I want to go back into well, this is what I was going into, right? Come back to this. Salakia. Babylon have been a golden cup. Let's look up golden, like I said, H2000, 20,091, like I said, right? Zahav.
Strong's H2091. Zahav.
See? So
Zahav.
it's been gold. It means gold, a precious metal, as a measure of weight, right? Of brilliance, of splendor. Like you said, so it's been this bubble, right? It's been this precious metal. That should make you think of diverse weights, right? The Lord hates diverse weights. But Babylon, that's what its central banking system, which the video is going to get into that. That's what Shalaka, I'm all over the place. Hold on. So, like I said, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. You see? So it's been a precious metal that have made all the earth drunken. Why? Because of its philosophies and it's democracy. Because of its democracy, like I said, the golden cup, that measure, the weight, right? It's been allowed to control things. If you can receive what I'm trying to say, that central banking system, that's the diverse weights. That's how it manipulates things. If you can receive it, you see. That's what makes the nations mad, because everybody has to come, and that's what they're trying to buck up against, that system now. They're trying to establish their own system. Like Gaddafi wanted to get away from that central banking system, which is that golden cup. Part of its tyranny, its reign. That's how Babylon America reigns. Like I said, through NATO and the EU. EU is the financial part. NATO is the military force, the beast, right? EU is the financial part. And just wait, right? They have everybody under that crux. You see? Can you see with the picture I'm trying to paint? Lord will. I don't know if I'm conveying myself right. Okay? You see? And the Lord said He hates unjust weights. You see? Have been a golden cup. Let me see what cup means. I think cup means like owl or something, like unclean bird, I believe. Yeah. See? Cup, a golden cup. This is H3.
Strong's H3563.
Yeah.
Kos.
It means cup, a kind of unclean bird, right? I had some scriptures on weights, right? Because the Lord hates that, right? This is Leviticus 19:36. Just balance, just weights, a just ephah and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Lord Yahweh, your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. Okay? And let's get what just weights are. It's all throughout the scriptures. Deuteronomy 25:13. Thou shalt not have in thy bag diverse weights, a great and a small. But let's get what just weights are, right? just balances, which we know the balances are the scales that you weigh things on, and the weights. Let's see what the weights are. This is H68. I don't know how to say the alpha. I don't know.
Strong's H68. Evan.
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 It's a stone, large or small, common stone, material, tablet, marble, huge, precious stones. You see? Precious stones, weights. Babylon has been a golden cup. You see? You see? You see, you get it? Weight, plummet, stones. We're at Jeremiah 51. Let's go back to Jeremiah 51. Golden cup. Let's go back to golden cup. Have been a golden. Let's go back to that. See? A precious metal. A measure of weight. So Babylon has been that. Babylon through its central banking system, if you can receive it. You see? Of brilliance and splendor, but it's really not. It's canker-ridden. It's canker-ridden. All right? But the Lord allowed, Yahweh Shai allowed it to do that. Allowed EU to be propped up. Allowed NATO to be propped up. Allowed the bases of men to come over us, to punish us. They are the Lord's whipping stick. But the nations now, that man of sin, all right? Okay, the border of wickedness, according to Malachi, that man of sin is being revealed. Okay, according to Psalm 64 and 8, even by their own selves, their tongues are falling upon themselves. Okay, and we're seeing now that Babylon is that you get it. You get what I'm trying to say. You see, it's all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected, baby. All right. It says, shall not all, this Habakkuk 2 and 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. And who does that? Who does that? I'm not even going to answer that. three words. The red Hebrew Edomite, idiot-mite, as I like to say, because he's an idiot. Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? Not much longer. Not much longer, right? Because we're measuring the time in itself diligently, okay? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which we know that thick clay, like we always say, is Ibatya, I believe, which is debt. Let's see. Himself with thick clay, Ibatya, I believe, is how you pronounce it.
Strong's H 5671. Avtit.
My bad. But I believe in the Hebrews, Ibatya. I could be mistaken. But anyway, thick clay, right? Weight of pledges, heavy debt. You see? Heavy debts. That's his central banking system. Okay? But anyway, let's get back into the video. I was all over the place. Salak, brother. Let's get back a little bit into more of the video. Lord's willing is edifying. Lord, I hope I'm conveying my point correctly.
The government now. I'm just characterizing it somewhat roughly, but it seems to go something like that.
Oh, it sure does. In fact, you managed to...
Hoover sat on his hands. Now, why are we talking about the Great Depression? It is one of the scare stories, like ogres and monsters and things under the bed, that is regularly told to people in order to scare them back into the protective arms of government. And the myth goes something like, well, we had this giant free market, and there was this hysterical bubble throughout the 1920s. There was this disastrous crash, and the do-nothing laissez-faire, let the market take care of itself, President Hoover sat on his hands, and things got worse and worse and worse. And then people finally panicked and ran to FDR, who manfully stood to the podium and thundered against the evils of unregulated capitalism and passed a whole bunch of government regulations that made everything better. But sadly, it was too late, and the world slid into World War II. And that's what happens when you let the free market try and take care of society. You end up with a 13-year depression culminating in a war that kills 70 million people. Now, are you still for the free market, or do you like the government now? I'm just characterizing it somewhat roughly, but it seems to go something like that.
Oh, it sure does. In fact, you managed to wrap up about 500 misconceptions in just a few sentences. But that
I often do that, but mostly inadvertently, so I'm glad it was focused this time.
But that is the conventional wisdom still to this day, unfortunately, although I think people understand that this episode in history better than they may have 20 or 30 years ago. Well, nothing could be further from the truth, Stefan, because government has its fingerprints all over the Great Depression. It caused it in the first place, largely by its crazy monetary policy coming from the Federal Reserve System, of course, which...
It's unjust weights, which is ran by who? The central banking system, which is ran by the Rothschilds, which is Amalek, the Amalekites. You see, it all their fingerprints are all over it, man. You see, that man of sin is being revealed. You can't run from it.
It caused it in the first place.
Slovakia. Let me run that back.
Largely years ago. Well, nothing.
But mostly inadvertently, so I'm glad it was focused this time.
But that is the conventional wisdom still to this day, unfortunately, although I think people understand that this episode in history better than they may have 20 or 30 years ago. Well, nothing could be further from the truth, Stefan, because government has its fingerprints all over the Great Depression. It caused it in the first place, largely by its crazy monetary policy coming from the Federal Reserve System, of course, which from about 1924 until 1928 embarked upon a very significant expansion of money and credit. And that caused a bubble in the economy.
Usury by the Federal Reserve, the central banking system. Unjust weights. Okay? Shall not, Habakkuk 2:6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with that thick clay. Okay? That's what Jeremiah went. Salaki, I see what happened. It's a lot. I see what happened. I get rid of that. Clear up a tab. Alright? I wanted to get something else. Bear with me. It's a lot. Alright, so let's go back into weights, right? I got a couple scriptures that I wanted to read still. This is Deuteronomy. I think I read it already. I'll read it over. Deuteronomy 25:13. Thou shalt not have in thy bag diverse weights, a great and a small. Proverbs 16:11. A just weight and a balance. A just weight and a balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bags are his works. That's not the one I wanted. Salakia. This is the one I wanted. Proverbs 20:10. Diverse weights and diverse measures, both of them are alike abomination to the Lord. All right, and we're going to look at what that means. Okay, diverse weights. This is 868. I think we looked it up already. I'm not sure.
Strong's H68. Evan.
Like we said, those are the weights. Okay, so you're supposed to have basically he's telling you you're not supposed to have usury. Everything's supposed to be balanced, man. The money goes up and down. That's what it's trying to say. If you can receive it, you see, it's supposed to be like gold. Gold is money. Okay, gold, silver, livestock. Those things are money. But what America uses is FRNs. All right, paper money. It's a note. It's a promissory note. It's not real money. It's unjust weights. It fluctuates. Okay, it fluctuates. That's why you can buy something now and then 10 years from now, like for example, the money now, $100 now is not the same as $100 back in the day. If you had $100 in the 1800s or whatever, or let's just say 1930s, you had a lot of money, but $100 now ain't shit. You see, because it's unjust, diverse. You see, it's supposed to be the same. You see, that's why it says diverse weights and diverse measures. Let's go into measures. Diverse measures. H374.
Strong's 374. Apha.
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 It says apha, a dry measure of quantity. Okay, so it's a certain it's a numerical value. All right, like inches or feet or liters or pounds or something. It has to be the same. You're not supposed to have different. It's supposed to be the same. It's supposed to all be balanced. Okay. Both of them are alike. Abomination to the Lord. Different, you see? Diverse. Different. They got to be the same. They got to be balanced. You see? But also what that leads to is usury. Okay? That's taught. It's the same thing as usury. All right? Interest. That's what it is. Okay? And that's what this society's propped up on. Exodus 22 and 25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor, by thee thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. And let's see what that is. Okay? And who's the lender? Esau, Edom. All right, that's in the scriptures. That's part of the curses. Subject to payments, right? But hold on, Salakia. Where is if thou lend? Okay, here, Salakia. Let's see what that means. See what we can glean from that. H5383.
Strong's H5383. Nasha.
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 To lend, be a creditor. The banks, the central banking system. To lend, creditor. You see? Wow. Who is that talking about? I don't know too many black-owned banks, so-called black, and we're not black. We're different shades of brown, and actually we're scattered, so we're coming all different colors. Primarily we're brown, but we're scattered, man. We're gonna have Israelites looking like the other nations, you know. Upon him usury. Let's see what usury is. Neshek 5392.
Strong's H5392.
See?
Neshech.
Interest on a debt, usury. You see? Interest, usury, is debt. That's what you do when you go to buy a car. What do you pay? Interest on a house. Interest. Everything has interest on it. Debt. That's why you go to school. To go to school to learn, to so-called learn to better yourself. What you're gonna have to do? Take out a student loan. What's that student loan have on it? Usury, interest, debt. That's why the scriptures, Habakkuk said, Habakkuk 2 and 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? You gonna charge me to learn your bullshit philosophies, which are lies anyway? Okay, and then on top of that, you're gonna slap fucking interest on it, usury, debt, and then you're gonna discriminate against me? It's a rat race, it's a trap. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick. Matter of fact, you rigged the whole fucking system. That man of sin is being revealed. It's revealed that the so-called SATs you fucking fake them. Not only is it a racist, so-called racist, and swayed to one gender, one race of people. You don't even take the test. You buy the people off. You know that man of sin is being revealed. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And like we said, that's debt. We looked that up already. I'm drilling these points, man. I bought ya. Okay? We looked it up already. Weight of pledges, heavy debts. That's Babylon. That's why it's been a golden cup. Okay? Go back to the video. Hope I'm drilling this point. I hope I'm making sense.
The Fed flooded the banks with easy money. It drove interest rates to historic 24 until 9 years ago. Well, nothing could be further from the truth, Stefan, because government has its fingerprints all over the Great Depression. It caused it in the first place, largely by its crazy monetary.
Just like they're going to cause this Great Depression, this Jacob's trouble. Okay, the famine, the race wars, you know, the sedition amongst men. You know, it's part of the wicked elite's agenda, their secret council. All right? They have a plan. You know, the Georgia Guidestones tell you they got to get that population down. All right?
Monetary policy coming
Their
from the
New
Federal
World
Reserve
agenda, their
System,
New
of
World
course,
order.
which from about
Order out of
1924 until 1928 embarked upon a very significant expansion of money and credit. And that caused a bubble in the economy. The Fed flooded the banks with easy money. It drove interest rates to historic lows. Much of the newly created money found its way onto the stock market, which bid it.
See, newly created money. Diverse weights. You see? Diverse measures. Gold is gold, man. It is what it is. You see? You got a cow, you got a cow. You got a land, you got land. But there's paper money, it's funny money. It fluctuates. They print the shit out of thin air. You see? They full of shit.
Prices up to dizzy heights. You had a land boom in Florida. You had Fed flooded the banks with easy money. It drove interest rates to historic lows. Much of the newly created money found its way onto the stock market, which bid prices up to dizzy heights. You had a land boom in Florida. You had all of the classic symptoms and signs of an artificially induced monetary expansion, a bubble, a classic bubble that sooner or later would have to be pricked.
A golden cup in the Lord's hand, Babylon. Okay, which sooner or later is going to have to be pricked, man. Hyperinflation. Yeah, how about this thing? America's done, man. Babylon the Great is on its last leg, man. And the nations can see it. And the nations are mad. Okay, that's why they're rushing to establish their own. So, but it's really all still the Rothschilds and the wicked elites. Okay, we know it's all you pushing your agenda. You know, like I said, order out of chaos. All right, but we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, but we're measuring the time diligently, and we can see. We know it. We know, man. We know.
And then, as I'm sure we'll get into in the latter part of our discussion, there were subsequent interventions by government that took a bad situation, made it much worse, and kept it bad for about a decade.
So the introduction of the Federal Reserve into the American economy in 1913, I think, is fairly arguably the base cause of the end of the free market. Of course, most economic transactions rely on money, and when the government is in control of the money supply, you really have a beginning of the deterioration of the free market, because in particular, entrepreneurs rely upon the amount of savings that are there, because savings are deferred spending, and when people are saving, it's a good time to borrow because interest rates are lower because savings are high. So you borrow money in the anticipation that you're going to get a whole bunch of people spending money down the road. And when there's a lot of money around and interest rates are low, it's a good signal for businesses to invest in upgrades and so on. But if it turns out that the money is not real money, in other words, if it's just monopoly fiat currency run by the printing presses, then what happens?
Diverse weights and measures. Funny money, paper money. Woe to you. Hey, man, go watch this video. I'm not going to keep you. Go watch this video. Dude, this video is good, man. You know, watch this whole video, man. Like I said, it's off of Stephen Mullinex. It's an old video, May 23rd, 2016, What Caused the Great Depression. And like we said, there's no new thing under the sun, man. All right, we in them times. All right, but I'm going to shut that down because I really wanted to get into a little bit of Second Ezra, Lord's willing, and then I shut it down. It's already 38 minutes going, all right? So the Second Ezra, this is, like I said, this is really what I've been meditating on, man. This is what times we're heading into. All right? Serious times, man. Second Ezra, chapter 16, I start at verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Slakia. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them out? Drive them away. All right? May any man drive away any hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it hath began to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Jacob's trouble, martial law, famine, uproars of the people, you know? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss. And when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, those missiles, those intercontinental ballistic missiles, okay? When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again, until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues, because like I said, the climax of that is those missiles, but there's many things that are going to happen before that, okay? Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, this is Ezra speaking, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Why would he say that? Because of reincarnation, because the prophets come back. He knew he would come back in his lot, okay? Just like Daniel knew, okay? Woe is me, this is Ezra speaking on a future prophecy, okay? Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows. That's what we're headed into, man. Serious fucking times, man. Serious, deadly times. Okay? The beginning of 2 Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. Okay? The slain of the Lord shall be many. Alright? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars. And the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. Evil means bad time. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges and amendment. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Because what did I say earlier? 2/3 of Israel is destined for destruction. Because you're of your father the devil, Esau Edom. Okay? Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap on earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. And that's what you see now. Shit is cheap. You can go get a fucking a sandwich off the dollar menu. Okay, so you think you're in a good case. But guess what? And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. Because what? It only take, what, a week or two? I think it's a week or so. They said of the trucks stop coming into like the grocery stores, and there's going to be an actual man-made famine. Okay? For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. Okay? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Your drones, your Gurkha troops, your neighbors, you know, and the missiles. Alright? For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. And that's what you see in these apocalyptic movies. When these bodies start hitting the floor, ain't nobody worried about it. They running for their lives. Alright? And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, not just America, okay? The earth, all right? Because it's gonna be uproars all over the damn place. Primarily in America the Great, but all over also. UK, Germany, Sweden, all those places, man. Because we're scattered, man. Jake is all over, all right? For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men. So that one man, like I said earlier, this is what I've been meditating on. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks, as in an orchard of olives. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in those days, which were drastically approaching, even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search in their houses with the sword. What does that sound like to you? I'll read that over again. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 31. Even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. That's those Gurkha troops going door to door, martial law. Okay? And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travail through. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Why is that going to happen? The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars, this is why. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 34. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. That's why there's going to be a draft. That's why there's going to be a draft, because technology has increased. Okay, the means of killing a motherfucker, the sword, Esau has mastered it. He's the master of disaster, okay? He has multiple ways to gun you down. through his frequencies, he can kill you with sound waves, man. He can kill you through the air, through particles in the air, through nanotechnology. This man is a devil, and he's going to come down with great wrath. And in that war, you're going to see all manner of hell being unleashed, okay? That's why Job 27 and 14 says this. I'll start at 13. This is Job 27 and 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of oppressors. Okay? Read that over. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Okay? Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Okay? The Lord ain't playing. That's why I said I've been meditating on this heavy. Okay? This is what we coming into, man. Serious fucking times. Deadly serious. Great Depression serious. Okay? Alright? Deadly serious. 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Okay? And that's who I do my videos for, the hopeful elect, okay? The hopeful elect, the sincere Akim, okay? Fuck you 2/3, fuck you scoffers. You're going to die, like the scripture said, the slain of the Lord shall be many. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. I believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Salakia. Let me read that over. I don't like how that. Salakia. I didn't do that justice. Salakia. I'm about to shut it down too. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, because the Lord is not slack as some men count slackness. Okay, though it tarry, wait for it. All right, it shall not tarry; it shall surely come. The word of the Lord does not go out void; it shall accomplish that which it which it's supposed to accomplish. Probably butchered that. All right. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, meaning they're coming, they're near, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack upon the earth, and the world, okay, shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Whew, all manner of calamity. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as a pilgrim upon the earth. Alright, I think I'm going to shut it down, but you guys get the idea. I think I'm going to shut it down. Trying to see. This whole chapter is good, man. Go read this whole chapter. This whole chapter is good, man. You pretty much get the point. I've been going for almost 50 minutes, man. 51 minutes. Alright, Lord's willing, it was edifying, man. Like I always say, we almost out of here, man. Keep pushing, man, and keep focused, man. Keep your eye on the prize. Don't let no man take your crown, and watch the news. Watch the prophecies. Man, we getting close. Alright? With that being said, Lord willing, it was edifying. Shalom.